What if I told you people once killed for the flavor in your holiday cookies? Not metaphorically, literally. They crossed oceans, burned villages, and spilled blood. All for this, a wrinkly little seed we now sprinkle on gingerbread. This is the dark history of nutmeg. From genocide to eggnog. Long before it scented Christmas candles and pumpkin spice lattes, nutmeg was a miracle. Fragrant, warm, intoxicating. It was prized in Ayurvedic medicine, used to treat the plague in Europe, and whispered about as an aphrodisiac. In the 15th century, it could sell for more than its weight in gold, but there was a catch. Nutmeg only grew on a tiny cluster of volcanic islands in Southeast Asia, known as the Banda Islands. A place so remote, it was nicknamed the Spice Islands. At first, only Arab traders knew their location. Then came the Portuguese in the 1500s, followed by the English, and then, the most ruthless of all, the Dutch East India Company, or the VOC. Backed by investors, armied like a navy, the VOC wasn't just a company. It was an empire in disguise, and it had one goal: monopoly. No, not the game. Worse. The Bandanese people had no interest in giving up control. They battered freely with the English, refusing Dutch demands to trade only with them. So the VOC sent a man named Jan Pieterszoon Cohen. In 1621, he arrived with warships and soldiers, and what followed was not a negotiation. It was a massacre. Villages burned, men were executed, women and children enslaved. Thousands were killed. The survivors were forced to plant nutmeg trees, not for themselves, but for their colonizers. The Banda Islands became a prison of spice. The VOC now controlled the only source of nutmeg in the world. Prices skyrocketed, fortunes were made. In one of the most ironic trade deals in history, the Dutch traded the island of Manhattan to the British in exchange for control of a nutmeg-producing island called Run. Yes, New York City for nutmeg. That's how valuable it was. But monopolies don't last forever. In the late 18th century, the British stole nutmeg seedlings and smuggled them to colonies in the Caribbean and beyond. Suddenly, nutmeg started growing everywhere. Its price collapsed, and the Banda Islands left behind, scarred, a tropical paradise with a history soaked in blood and spice. And today, nutmeg lives quietly in your kitchen cabinet. We sprinkle it in eggnog and dust it over lattes. Mix it into gingerbread men, those cheerful little cookies, baked with the ghost of an empire. What once sparked colonization and mass murder now flavors your seasonal baked goods. That's history. You can taste it. If you like this story, I've got a whole cellar full of spice history, salt, cinnamon, pepper, each one with secrets of its own. Subscribe for more, and remember, history is everywhere, even in your spice rack.